Title of my message: Are you a son or are you a slave? I don't know. Your neighbor might not know. The person sitting next to you may not know, but you know. You have a good idea whether you're living bondage, whether you're tore up from the floor up when nobody's looking. You know. God knows. Abraham had two sons. They were working on the field, if you will, and you couldn't tell the difference between. They looked alike. They had the same father. But one was born of the flesh and of a slave woman, and the other was born by the promise of God. It says his son by the slave woman was born according to the flesh, but his son by the free woman was born as a result of the divine promise. Okay, so you have two children, two sons. One was born of a slave woman, and that was born according or out of the flesh. That's important. This is important. This is important. Let me just stop here for a moment. Because when things are born out of us according or out of the flesh, it normally leads to really bad things in our life, or trials or tumultuous situations. When things are born, let me give you an example. Like if you're married and you have an affair and you have a child out of wedlock, that's something that's born according to the flesh, because it was out of the flesh that you did that. Or you have an idea, a business idea, and it's not from God, it's not from the Lord, but you act upon it, and it could create a lot of problems in your life because it wasn't born out of God. It wasn't born out of the promises of God. On the contrary, when things are born out of God, it will bring blessing to you and blessing to your family. So that when someone cuts your tree trunk, there won't be disease in there because things were born out of the flesh. It will be healthy. It will be ready to produce fruit and ready to produce leaves and more branches and deeper roots, because things were born out of the Spirit. We are not supposed to walk in the flesh. We aren't supposed to think of the flesh. But when we do, we start doing things that are fleshly. We start doing things that are not of God. If you're single, don't date out of the flesh. You say, well, how am I supposed to date? Ask the Lord to bring someone to you that's of the Spirit.